So it's Tom Cassidy. I'm here with Sam Brown. We're talking about the secret to making the law of attraction work for you, and this is the story so far. We decided a week ago. This was so today is Sunday, so 7 days. I said I'm going to launch a program. I'm going to call it Reasonable Force, and the tagline of it is the secret to making the law of attraction work for you. And a lot of people will be interested in that because most people who've taken on the law of attraction have come to it not believing that it works, and they've tried it and it hasn't worked really the way they'd like it to work. And those people who believe the law of attraction kind of believe it without even knowing it is the law of attraction. So anyone who's like, no one goes, oh yeah, I wonder if something is out there called the law of attraction. I'm going to search for that and say, yeah, that works for me already. I already do that. Yeah, that's fantastic. No, so the people who are searching for it are generally people who have perhaps had some doubt in their minds as to how effective it's going to be. So Sam and I said, what if we came up with this program called Reasonable Force, kind of like Jedi Mind Force, reasonable, using your powers, to actually work out what it is that is the difference between using the law of attraction and getting the results you want, and then using the law of attraction and getting the results you don't want. Because actually, it's a bit like gravity. You can't not use it. It's always working. And as you'll find out from watching a bunch of these videos, you'll see that the reason is that you're actually it's not working for you, is that it is working for you, but it's giving you what it thinks you want. And it thinks you want what you think about the most. And this is people go, oh no, but I know what I want, and I've done vision boards, and I've written it out, and I do affirmations every morning, and I tell the law of attraction what I really want, and then I go about putting crap into my sausage machine for the rest of the day, and doubt and anxiety and everything. So it doesn't know. It's a principle of physics, It doesn't know. Gravity doesn't know whether someone falling out of an airplane is wearing a parachute and it's part of a plan, or someone hasn't got a parachute on and really needs to be rescued in some way, and maybe have slightly weaker gravity acting on them. Gravity is intention agnostic. It's just a principle. It's going to work. The law of attraction is exactly the same thing. Nature's processes, the way life grows and everything, is exactly the same thing. Life will just make more of itself all the time and try and do so in the most economic way in terms of all its resources, basically. And the law of attraction will just work. It will always work, but it will always bring to your life, it will surround you with what you think about the most. And that's the only thing that it thinks. It thinks it's important to you because you're thinking about it a lot. So it's really simple. I could give it to you in like 10 seconds. Think more about what you want than about what you don't want. And if you can think for 51% of the time about what you want and 49% about what you don't want, then you'll get there. I mean, all else being equal, there's a bit more to it than that, because some people can think about what they don't want for only 10% of the time, but they really believe that what they don't want is going to happen, and so they're putting they're putting much more intensity into the thought, much more energy, much more belief, much more faith, if you like, into that. But essentially, what Sam and I decided was, let's do something really cool, and let's see if we can actually attract some ridiculous things into our life in just a few days. And we started thinking, well, if we use Google Hangouts, which seemed to be working quite nicely for SEO on some of the other things that we've messed around with, I wonder what sort of a stink we could create in like 5 or 6 days, just a week. And it's pretty incredible, isn't it, Sam? What are your thoughts on this whole business of SEO?
Yeah, it is really incredible, and it's so incredible. So what I can tell you that is in my my present day job on a day-to-day basis, we sell products, these digital marketing services, they call them, and one of the big DMS products is SEO, and it's kind of like it's like the dry hump of the marketing service suite that we offer, because it takes so long to be effective. Like most of the packages that my company sells businesses on SEO, it's kind of like an afterthought. They're like, all right, listen, this is going to take 6 to 9 months just to even begin to see movement. Because first off, the goal of SEO is to rank higher in Google's search rank. Ideally, you want to be on page 1. That's where you really want to be. And anywhere past that, it's going to be a really a falling off diminishing return in terms of your search results. And of course, you can be the very top spot by using PPC, which is pay-per-click, where you're bidding on keywords, and so you can always be up there. But the organic search is where everybody wants to be, because that just means that your content is providing the most value for the user, and therefore Google likes it the best, and it's going to move it up the ranks. And there's so many variables in how that Google's algorithm works, and of course they're very secretive to that algorithm, and they change it constantly. So a lot of digital marketers are very they try to figure that out and try to figure how to get the best search ranking. And the reason why you want to rank highly, because when people Google when people Google for results, if you come up in the top 2 or 3 spots or whatever, obviously you're going to have a ton more traffic than if you show up on page 17. So it's really interesting too, because the best part about this is everything that you see Tom doing is 100% intuition based. I mean, we're going to have a really hard time describing to the historians that we did not have a plan about this. This was literally just fly by the seat of our pants. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? Ooh, I see this. This could be a really useful tool, such as Google Hangouts. And my gosh, what an amazingly useful tool it has been. Architects of humanity, which we all are, but also to provide, it's like the universe gave us this little extra kick. It was like, all right, this is a free tool that you guys can use that's totally Jetson style. You're talking face-to-face with someone who's on the other side of the world. Oh, and by the way, if you do it right, you can totally dominate any keyword you want to, just because we think you're cool. And so it's really funny too, because I was again from my work experience, I've seen SEO take, like, people sign up long-term contract, like 18-month contract. All right, awesome. At the end of the 18 months, we can't promise anything, but maybe we'll get you closer to page 1. And it's like, really? And so to watch what Tom's been doing over the past few days, and for those of you that may not know, he's been doing condensed hangouts with specific terms in his keywords in the title, so that he can rank really highly on these things, and the results are absolutely ridiculous. We were just having a conversation off air where Tom was doing a live broadcast, and the broadcast that he was doing live was showing up above the rankings of all these other people who knows what they've been doing to get the SEO that they've done. But it's one of those things that every single person who is on the web, which is basically everybody, you're conscious of your SEO, because obviously the better your SEO, the more traffic you're going to get, and therefore the bigger your marketing funnel. So, and that's not even really delving into the reality creation aspects of this, which are really, really exciting. But just from a technical standpoint, SEO takes a very long time, months and months and months and months of constantly kind of massaging the website, making sure the metadata is okay, making sure your link backs, there's all these different variables. But what's really fascinating is Tom has seemed to have, on purpose, inadvertently discovered a little secret, and it's really fascinating. It's going to pay a ton of dividends for all of the people that are watching and people that are out there doing their own things. For example, Tom was just on with Mark talking about his program and positioning his keywords and stuff like that. And you're going to see, as Mark begins to do those videos, you're going to see him just dominating the ranks. So it's not even an anomaly. It's like the universe is giving us this and opportunity to go maybe exposed or attracted to our circles in terms of kind of the metaphysical mayhem we're into. But you start showing results on some different kind of aspects, and it can be really interesting because everybody knows how important SEO is. And so, Tom, that's a little rundown of that, but I think that you found a real unicorn here.
Yeah, and the thing is, let's try and realize that ultimately we attracted this into our lives, into these programs, by thinking about it. We wanted to have a better way to reach people than the traditional SEO. We actually created that. We thought, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way that we can reach people without having to do all the dodgy, dumbass sort of stuff you have to do with links and linking to other sites and linking to sites that have got. Because ultimately, that's not setting out to make sense. None of that is setting out to make sense. So one of the principles of the law of attraction working for you is you've got to set out to make sense. We set out to deliver incredible content for the keywords. Like, if you want to know the secret to making the law of attraction work, you just have to watch our short videos, the ones we've done already, and you get the idea. It's thinking about what you want, not about what you don't want, but with a bunch of little tips and tricks and great ways to do it. So it's incredibly good content that's delivered in a way that isn't asking for anything. People don't have to pay for anything. It's not written out in all these meta tags and all this bullshit and all this stuff trying to link and try to fool Google into returning it. No, it's actually genuinely really good content. And this is incredible. A lot of my videos that are ranking super high have had like 3 views, and they're ranking higher than videos that have had like 40,000 and 600,000. Why? Well, a number of things. What? Because it's a hangout, it's really super recent, and the news effect of it, the fact that it's, as you know, in real time, is really important. And also the idea of a hangout is what tends to happen is that people who do hangouts tend to be much more credible than people who just do YouTube videos. You still got the cat brigade doing YouTube videos, right? So they haven't quite gone into doing hangouts yet. Maybe they will in the future. Maybe this won't be as valuable a tool in the future. But for now, for right now, given where we are, doing what we can with what we've got, we've attracted into our lives the best way to influence people, the best way to get reach, to get out in front of people that I've ever heard of. And that's not just by, you know, listening to me. Just do it yourself. Do it yourself for the next, you know, 6 or 7 days. Choose a keyword search term, anything you like. You probably aren't going to go for something like Barack Obama or, you know, the Middle East crisis. You know, you'll probably struggle to rank in 6 days for those terms, but you'd be amazed. I'm ranking super high for the best diet for weight loss long term, the science of getting rich in practice, the science of getting rich made simple, just in like 6 days, and how to make the secret work for you, or making the secret work for you, how to make the law of attraction work for you, as well as the secret to making the law of attraction work for you. And I guess what we're saying really is here is this technology is evidence of the law of attraction working for us as well, because it's like we wanted something like this that would be really good, and we're doing it for the right reasons. We are setting out to make sense. We're not setting out to make bucks. We're not setting out to give anything other than incredible value, give more in use value than we receive in cash value. And that's why I kind of like Google as well as a company. You know, they genuinely do. I mean, okay, people say, you know, they're this don't be evil and all that sort of stuff. It's a bit of a con. They're still trying to take over the world. But actually, when you think that you can use tools like this for free, talking to anyone who's got an internet connection anywhere in the world, live video conferencing, sending messages like, you know, the Gmail, just the electronic message, the idea of being able to send a letter to someone anywhere in the world, and the instant chat and all this sort of stuff, phenomenal tools really. So they are bringing greater life to all, and we support that. So I think that was just a nice little extended not rant, a positive rant. What could you say for a positive rant? A splurge of passion? I don't know. We'll have to think of a word, but for just saying in general, look, the more you use this stuff, the easier it gets. The easier it gets, the faster you get results. The faster you get results, the greater your faith is that it's going to work for you. The greater your faith is, the more effective it is. It's just a positive upwards cycle. You know, it's the opposite of a vicious circle. Positive, whatever that is, and not very vicious. A benevolent circle. Anyway, let's knock this one on the head, and we'll talk in many more videos about the secret to making the law of attraction work for you. But Sam, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it, and we've enjoyed talking at you guys. You know, we love this kind of stuff. We'd do it all day and all night if we could, and I guess that's where we're going. All right.